She is known for her radical and free-thinking ideas, particularly on women's rights and social reform. She is recognized for her close friendship and intellectual partnership with John Stuart Mill. Her name is Harriet Taylor Mill. Harriet Hardy, born in 1807 in Walworth, South London, was a woman ahead of her time. From a young age, she displayed a passion for writing poetry and harbored radical and free-thinking ideas. Her association with the Congregation of Unitarian Freethinker, Reverend William Fox, further fueled her intellectual pursuits. In 1826, Harriet married John Taylor and together they had 3 children. It was during this time that Harriet's path would cross with that of the renowned philosopher John Stuart Mill. The circumstances of their initial meeting remain shrouded in speculation, but it is believed that their encounter was orchestrated by the leader of Harriet's Unitarian congregation. United by their shared interest in women's rights, Harriet and John quickly developed a deep friendship. Mill treated Harriet as an intellectual equal, a rarity in a time when women were often dismissed or overlooked. However, their bond faced a sudden rupture, prompting Mill to pen a passionate love letter in French, refusing to accept Harriet's departure from his life. Their separation was short-lived, as they soon rekindled their connection, exchanging a series of essays on marriage, separation, and divorce. Harriet voiced her concerns about the limited role of women in society, criticizing the notion that women were educated solely for the purpose of marriage and highlighting the hypocrisy and unfairness surrounding the institution. She advocated for the rights of women to divorce, emphasizing the importance of mutual inclination and true equality between the sexes. In 1833, Harriet and her husband agreed to a trial separation, and she found solace in the arms of John Mill in Paris. Despite her happiness, Harriet grappled with guilt, aware of the pain and potential public humiliation she was causing her husband. Ultimately, she made the decision to return to her husband in London, but by 1834, she was living independently in her own house in Keston Heath. Mill remained a constant presence in her life, visiting her frequently and embarking on travels together over the next 2 decades. Harriet Hardy Taylor Mill was a trailblazer, challenging societal norms and advocating for women's rights at a time when such ideas were still considered radical. Her partnership with John Stuart Mill not only deepened their personal connection but also influenced their philosophical and intellectual pursuits. Together, they explored concepts of equality, the nature of pleasure, and the interconnectedness of human existence. Harriet's legacy as a philosopher, writer, and advocate for women's rights continues to inspire generations to question the status quo and fight for a more just and equal society. Harriet, a brilliant philosopher in her own right, faced numerous challenges in gaining recognition for her work during her lifetime. Despite facing societal barriers, she made significant contributions to the field of philosophy, often collaborating closely with her husband, John Stuart Mill. Together, they shared their thoughts and speculations, with little concern for who held the pen. During her pregnancy with her 3rd child, Helen, Harriet began publishing her works. She provided literature for various publications, such as the Unitarian Journal Monthly Repository and the Society for the Distribution of Useful Knowledge. However, much of her work was published anonymously or credited to her husband. It was in the newspapers, under the cover of anonymity, that Harriet co-authored articles on domestic violence, shedding light on an important social issue of the time. John Stuart Mill recognized the immense value of Harriet's contributions and regarded her as a valuable collaborator. In fact, he acknowledged her as the joint author of many books and articles published under his name. In his autobiography, Mill declared that when 2 individuals share their thoughts and speculations completely, it matters little who holds the pen. He understood the importance of their intellectual partnership, emphasizing the shared nature of their ideas. The extent of Harriet's collaboration with her husband remains a topic of ongoing debate. While Thomas and Jane Carlyle, who had the privilege of meeting Harriet, did not hold a favorable opinion of her abilities, Mill saw her as an essential part of their intellectual endeavors. He even expressed a desire for their future works to bear both of their names on the title page, highlighting the significance of her contributions. Despite the reluctance to publicly acknowledge Harriet's role during her lifetime, there are indications that she, too, hesitated to claim credit for their joint work after John Stuart Mill's passing. Their close partnership extended beyond their personal lives, with their intellectual collaboration shaping much of their published material. The story of Harriet Taylor Mill serves as a reminder of the importance of recognizing and valuing the contributions of individuals, regardless of their gender. It highlights the power of collaboration and the richness that can emerge when minds come together to explore ideas. Harriet's philosophy, though often overshadowed, continues to inspire us today and reminds us to appreciate the shared wisdom and knowledge that can arise from collaboration. Upon her death, John Stuart Mill wrote, "I have lost the only person who could have made me permanently happy." Harriet Taylor Mill, a pioneering philosopher and advocate for women's rights, passed away in the Hôtel d'Europe in Avignon, France, on November 3, 1858. Her departure left a void in John Stuart Mill's life, as he recognized her immense impact on his own happiness and intellectual development. Harriet's philosophy centered around the idea of equality and the dismantling of societal barriers that restricted women's rights. She believed that women were just as capable as men and deserved equal opportunities in education, politics, and society as a whole. Her ideas were revolutionary for her time, challenging the prevailing belief that women were inferior to men. In the wake of her death, John Stuart Mill continued to champion Harriet's philosophy and dedicated himself to promoting her ideas. He believed that her work was crucial in shaping a more just and equal society. He wrote extensively about her influence on his own thinking and credited her with expanding his understanding of gender equality. Today, Harriet Taylor Mill's philosophy continues to inspire and guide us in our daily lives. Her emphasis on equality and the importance of dismantling oppressive systems remains relevant as we strive for a more inclusive and just society. Her legacy is honored through institutions like the Harriet Taylor Mill Institute for Economics and Gender Studies, which was established in 2001 and continues to promote her ideas. In recognition of her contributions, Harriet Taylor Mill was included as one of the Philosopher Queens in a book published in 2020. This acknowledgement further solidifies her place in history and highlights the enduring relevance of her philosophy.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.